Hey guys, welcome back to GM's Table. It's another Let's Run Savage Worlds, and this week we're going to cover something a little weird. This week and next week we're going to cover some things that I find really interesting to run Savage Worlds, but not many books have rules for it. And the first one is time travel. And we'll make a small caveat. If you're doing like a one shot, time travel, not that big of a deal. You just want to do time travel, you do it. Going to the future, easy. You go to the future, do it. Now, granted, I'll retouch going to the future next week when we cover something else with alternate dimensions. But what I'm talking about is if your characters go to the past and can potentially screw up the present. Again, in a one shot, not a big deal. But if you're doing it in a campaign, that can be a big, big problem on how you handle it and how you rope it in. Now, there's a lot of intricacies in how to exactly know what changes what. You can't have mechanics for it. But I stumbled across a perfect, fast, furious, fun mechanic in a Savage Worlds adventure. Excuse me, it's early in the morning. So, the adventure I'm talking about is Hotel 96. It's in Savage Tales of Horror Volume 3. It's an ETU adventure. And what it is it's not actually a time travel adventure. It's a ghost story / demon adventure. But what happened was a hotel burns down. It's full on. It's The Shining in adventure form. It's actually a really, really good adventure. But what happens is the characters get sucked into basically this like pocket dimension where this demon set the night that the hotel actually burned down on a time loop. And time loops is where we start delving into time travel. Now, this is a chaos demon, and how they do it is every time you screw up or screw with how things are supposed to happen that night, you introduce chaos into the time loop. And how they do that is every time you do it, every time you screw something up bad enough that's going to introduce chaos into the time loop, the GM gets a Benny. It's a very small thing, but every Benny the GM gets can terrify your players. That's it. That's the mechanic. See, the thing is if you pull it out of that context and you just go like Marty McFly Back to the Future, and you go, all right, well, you just did something that can potentially erase you from time, or that can really screw up the timeline, or anything like that. You got to be loose. You got to be like, well, not every butterfly you step on destroys your universe. But when you do things like you screw up your parents getting to meet, we go to the Back to the Future analogy. Then you go, all right, well, first of all, we have our adventure hook. Real simple. But other than going, okay, well, it's an adventure, I got to figure out how to fix it to make it feel like there's consequence, you go, all right, well, you screwed that up. GM gets a Benny. Why does the GM get a Benny? Because you've made the timeline unstable. Simple. Every time you make a player makes the timeline unstable, GM gets a Benny, which means every time they go, it forces them to kind of think, okay, well, I could do this, but is it going to screw with the timeline? Because if it screws with the timeline, on a meta narrative, the GM gets a Benny. But that meta narrative helps push the player psychologically into going and actually caring about not screwing with the timeline too much. Because if they do it too much, I don't have to go, oh, you're wiped out from existence. You go, well, I have a ton of Bennies. Now, there is another small twist. And this is going to take some custom writing on your part. In Hotel 96, there is a list of things. Now, it's a pre-written list, so there's no feeling like shenanigans or feeling like the GM's cheating you. Of effects the GM can just cause happen by spending a Benny. So the GM Bennies get some extra things. Now, in Hotel 96, it's things like you can spend a Benny for the vines on the carpets to start attacking and things like that. However, get creative again, depending on what time period you go into, can completely screw and affect what that list is. But you can start to get real creative and go, all right, so if they screwed with the timeline, what bad things could happen but won't always happen? And that's your list of GM material. You can do things, you can do really simple things like seeing or putting like the child version of an important NPC in danger somewhere where they see it happening. You can do other simple things like just something dangerous happening. Maybe the timeline tries to correct itself by killing the one who does it. Things like random accident. Boom. Well, now you gotta make, and you use like the blast power or the burst power, whichever one you want. Where you go like, really depending on your tone. Well, someone was hoisting something up to a third floor apartment and the rope just snapped right next to you. You need to make a dex save. Why would that happen? Because you're screwing with time and time will screw back. Real simple stuff, but interesting stuff. Stuff that keeps a time travel adventure moving and fun and action packed, which Savage Worlds, I fully believe, is for action packed gameplay. 9 times out of 10, I run a lot of horror, and horror's not always action. But if we're doing like, oh, we're traveling through time and we can screw up the timeline and stuff, let's be real honest, there's a level of camp that should be there, or else it just gets real dire. And there's a level of action that should be there. So that's, again, this isn't a really long episode, because I think it's a lot simpler than a lot of people think it needs to be. You don't need a lot of convoluted charts and tables and stuff. I do think having a list of things the GM can spend bennies on, and if you want your time travel bennies to be a different color, so like the GM can spend as normal bennies, or only those bennies can be spent on anomalies, which is what your list is, fine. I think that adds a level of complication. The GM only gets so many bennies. If you want to start doing it there anyways, it's like, well, but we haven't caused any anomalies. You simply existing is an anomaly. It's just not bad enough to fuel extra points. So that's really it. I will catch you guys next time. Bye. If you like that video, check out another video over here. Whatever it is, it's probably pretty good. Don't forget to like, share so other people can find the channel, and subscribe right up there. YouTube now won't let me put a link to the Patreon, but there is a link down in the description below. So if you want to help support the channel, check that out, and I will catch you guys next time.